décidé de pardonner. Est-ce qu'on peut faire à trop s'aimer?
I believe there's some kind of great spiritual power. I can't define it. I guess God is the only word I could think of, but you know, if I'd been born in another part of the world, it would be Allah, and somewhere else it would be, you know. So it depends where we're born, but I think almost all people have some kind of name for this spiritual power. It has to be the same power. Well, I don't deliberately try to connect, but when I'm out in nature, it's all around me. I just always feel something.
And is there anything what you didn't know about this spiritual entity when you were young and a young researcher in the rainforest, and you know it now, and it would have been good to know when you were young?
I think I've always had the same belief. I don't think anything's changed. The family I grew up in, you know, they were Christians, but at the same time I had a very wise mother who's always saying, you know, you shouldn't just believe in one narrow belief system, because the world is big, full of different cultures. So I don't think I learned anything about the spiritual power, more about myself perhaps.
Where would you prefer to get up in the morning?
Oh, well, I love waking up when there's nature outside and I can hear the birds singing. Yeah, that's what I love best. Well, there are a lot of places where, you know, it's very dirty, it's very noisy, it's very polluted. And there are many places like that I've been around the world, and all I feel is intense sympathy for the people who have to live there. I'm very grateful that I'm not living there.
What is the most incomprehensible or inacceptable thing in the world?
Well, I think the most incomprehensible thing is that the big difference between us and chimpanzees and other animals is this explosive development of our brain, and how weird that the most intellectual species to ever walk the planet is destroying its only home. We're destroying it very fast, and unless we have a different mindset, for my great-great-grandchildren, the future, it looks very dark.
What is your dark side?
My dark side? Well, people are always asking this kind of question. I don't know what it is. Maybe I had a dark side when I was younger, but you know, I'm trying to walk the talk now. There are thousands of young people who say I'm their role model. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. You'll have to ask other people what my dark side is. I mean, I don't feel I have one. I've worked very hard to get rid of it. You know, it doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. Doesn't mean I'm a perfect person. But I wouldn't call those things dark. You know, not really.
Okay. What is your personal value? What makes you valuable?
When I was born, I was given two gifts. One was good health, good genes, inherited from my father for sure. And the other was communication, an ability to communicate, which I think came from the Welsh side of my family. So either with writing, with talking, and particularly the ability to tell stories, because that's the only way to change opinion. It's not, you can't batter away at the brain, that doesn't work. But if you can reach the heart, and the way to reach the heart is with stories.
And what's the key to reach the heart?
Telling stories. And the stories come from experience.
What is the message of your life?
The message is that every single one of us makes a difference every day we live, and we have a choice as to what kind of difference we're going to make today. Will we leave the world a little bit better, a little bit worse? But whatever we do, it's going to make some kind of impact.
And what do you think, does your message reach the heart of the people, or how does this
It does when
approach?
I'm giving lectures. I know because of the reception. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll change their behavior. It may be gone by tomorrow, but at the time they're moved. And you can tell by the tears. There's a lot of tears, and I think it's people thinking, well, I could do things differently. And I mean, for example, one man, I didn't hear from him for a year after my lecture, and then he said, I went home and decided I had to sell my big house. I didn't need it, it was wasteful. Two people I know were about to buy expensive, extravagant sports cars, and neither of them did after my lecture, and one of them actually gave us the money he would have used to buy the car. So I know that there's an impact sometimes. I couldn't do it otherwise, could I? You know, it would be no point. I'm caught through success.
What is the most boring thing for you now, which is quite dull and it doesn't give you joy to do or to think?
Well, I don't have much time to be bored. I'm 300 days a year, 300 days a year on the road, going from country to country, meeting people, having interviews. Boring. Sometimes I have to sit through a very boring talk, or sit on a panel where people talk a whole lot of what I consider rubbish. Words. Documents that are signed about commitment to reducing your country's footprint, which never get implemented. And you know, all of that is just tedious.
És annak a sok utazásnak mellékhatása?
And what are the side effects of this?
What are the what?
Lots of travel and moving all the time.
I hate the travel and moving all the time. I totally hate it. Aeroplanes, hotels, you know, meeting people. And everywhere I go now, every airport, oh, you look like Jane Goodall. So I can never relax. It's always like I'm on show. And, you know, the thing is, there are two Janes. There's this one standing here talking to you. Actually, that's me. And then there's this sort of icon out there, which people recognize. And somehow I've got to link the two. So there are two Janes. And the job has been to try and bring them closer and closer together. Otherwise I'm a schizophrenic sort of person.
What would you do on your last day?
Well, what I would do in the last day of my life would depend, you know, am I sick? Am I dying of Parkinson's or something? In which case I have no choice as to what I do.
You are healthy.
If I'm healthy, I would like to spend my last day, I'm not sure, I would like to spend it in a beautiful place with a dog. Probably the best place for me to die would be at home in England. It's the house I grew up in. There are the same trees I climbed as a child. It's my roots. So that's where I was from the age of 5 onwards. So I may as well die there. And there's always dogs there. My sister actually lives in the house with her family. So I'll be at home, and it'll be a winter day with sunshine outside, and I'll take the dog for a nice walk and come back, and there'll be a nice log fire and a glass of whiskey and then bye-bye world.
Would you like some whiskey? No?
What now? No, thank you.
D'accord, il existait d'autres façons de se quitter, quelques éclats de verre